Integrated pest management to us means integrating the three types of control measures that are available. Biological, being the other insects that eat the pest insects. Cultural controls, which are management techniques that farmers can do to either affect the pests and reduce their numbers or to increase the population of beneficial species. And the last option is the use of pesticides. In an IPM strategy, where possible, we try and select products that will kill the pest without disrupting the beneficial species. If we can get all three working, is obviously much better than just relying on a pesticide. With newer pesticides coming onto the market, they are in general much more selective. They can still work very, very well on pests, but they're far less disruptive to beneficial species. People usually change from a conventional, spray-based strategy to IPM, unfortunately, when there's a crisis. And so if the pest develops resistance to the pesticide and you've got a pesticide-only strategy, then of course you've got a problem. The reason for using IPM is to not rely totally on pesticides. So even most of the chemical companies would agree that their products will last longer and avoid resistance if they're used as part of an IPM strategy. The pest species can develop resistance to pesticides, but they usually can't evolve fast enough to avoid a predator or a parasite. But there are other reasons that people want to change to using an IPM approach other than insecticide resistance, and that includes things like pesticides being taken off the market. There's also issues for people wanting to export overseas. The hardest thing that we face when teaching people how to use IPM is to recognise beneficial species and how to monitor for them in order to make a better decision. When the crop comes out of the ground, the first thing that gets there are the pests. The things that eat the pests aren't going to be there before the pests. So there's always a lag between the arrival of the pest and the arrival of the beneficial species. Insecticides might be required just to bring things into balance, and that's very much using selective products that don't have to annihilate the pest population, they just have to drop the numbers to avoid economic damage to the crop while giving time for the beneficial population to develop. People use thresholds which is above this number, we put a spray on, below that number we don't. That's pretty accurate in a spray-based strategy. In an IPM system, let's say we find 10 aphids on a leaf, is there a problem? Well, if we've got 10 aphids and no beneficials, well, there's a problem. If we've got 10 aphids, 3 wasps, 2 ladybirds and a hoverfly, we don't have a problem. So we tend to look at trends rather than absolute numbers at any one point in time.